what we've seen is this pandemic is changing things in a profound way, in ways that we can't fully understand yet or predict. But this offers us an opportunity. We're in a pivotal moment, and we have the opportunity to imagine a new structure for our lives. If we want to see the continued reduction in pollution and this connection that many of us have the pleasure of experiencing, of increased attention to the people that we love and the things that bring us joy, how can we retain some of that as things start to go back to a new normal? More people will be working from home, leaving more time to interact and enjoy their local environments. We've seen the need to strengthen local economies, and we can do that with initiatives that both reduce our impact on the climate and bring people together. Regardless of the social distancing that's happening now and the new behaviors that we will be implementing, including, this wearing masks in public and keeping a distance, the need to connect with our community and with each other is not going away. And we've already seen that is sorely needed throughout the Inland Empire. Some of my students are here today to suggest local solutions that use regenerative design. And for those unfamiliar with that term, regenerative design is a means to living sustainably within the Earth's ability to regenerate itself. These practices all work together, and part of that is reducing our impact with the way that we get around and increasing public transportation, biking, walking, and connecting between these local initiatives. While our teams focus on 6 areas: water, energy, waste, shelter, food, and people, you'll see plenty of overlap throughout the presentations.
So my group is covering the lower southeast of San Bernardino County, focusing on Palm Springs as a model for other desert cities. Desert cities have high potential for wind and solar energy. We already see this like in Palm Springs and Vegas. We can use these systems to connect people with education and decentralized storage, as well as distribution. So this is a vignette we put together, just showing like a single household and what it could potentially look like. It's meant to just show like that these systems don't have to be intrusive, and they don't have to be super big and large, and can be brought down to smaller scale. Maybe in like colder months, the turbines at the top of your house could power your house rather than relying on solar, and potentially like geothermal energy under your house could also work as AC or heating units. Lastly, this is just a view to show what boreholes, which is the top image, would look like, or geothermal energy under your house and how it works. It basically just stores heat and energy in the ground that you can take out later. So you don't have to run like your heater or your AC unit. It just comes straight from the ground.
So we decided to focus on Riverside County and the Moreno Valley. We chose this area because it has a very large agricultural industry, and they already have an existing composting system. Our project aims to expand the existing composting system into a community-based, widespread system. And to do this, we'd integrate food collection, local distribution of compost, to create a system that brings everyone together in the process and ensures a zero waste community.
And as for our benefits, we wanted to focus on the reduction of food waste and landfill usage. And then obviously there's going to be economic and social benefits. And for our vignette, we wanted to focus on the case study of Appaloosa, India. We chose this particular case because it was people-driven initiative. So what you can see on your left-hand side is pictures of their local composting center. So an area that was once overwhelmed with waste, and they didn't have any solutions and no government support. Not saying that that aspect is reflective of what's currently in Riverside County, but the fact that the community was able to come together in these circumstances to find a solution, and the bright colors initiate even the kids of local schools to bring their composting materials once a week and have everyone involved. And they went from doing hand sorting into using machinery to make this process all the much easier.
So our group, we researched housing, and we came up with 3 housing initiatives that we propose: transitioning homes to renewable energy, promoting mixed-use development for diversity and walkability, and lowering energy usage through architectural design. So to expand on that, we want to transition from toxic heating oils to power HVAC systems to natural gases and renewable energy. And that's important because we want the air to be cleaner and the residents to be healthy. So our proposal location is focused on Ontario and Rancho Cucamonga. And we chose these 2 cities because they're very close together, and they're highly populated and connected to popular attractions, and as well as the Ontario International Airport.
And so a central city concept is important because it supports Lyle's design strategy, which is a design strategy, which means to integrate and not isolate, which is more sustainable for the city, so everything is incorporated. And so I chose to just kind of lay over this like Ecopolis city concept over it, and it shows that the central city is in the center and everything kind of expands and disperses outward. And then this is a drawing of a communal kitchen with an edible garden on the side. And it's so reinforcement of social relationships via communal kitchen is important for our city because it reduces food waste and energy. And that's one of Lila's regenerative design strategies as well.
So that's an example of a multi-purpose or mixed-use housing where there's residential on the top and there's office and retail spaces at the bottom. So like I was saying, this allows us to have a more diverse group of people in a smaller scale, and it brings housing closer to work areas, which lessens the need for vehicles. And these types of buildings also help build communities from shared spaces like the courtyards that they have within the structures.
We're going over regenerative food practices in the Inland Empire. So the Inland Empire was founded on the bounty of its agriculture, but now the food supply chain is extremely complex, and that makes access to basic healthy foods problematic for a lot of IE residents. So these orange areas you see are food deserts. That means that neighborhoods are separated from stores with fresh food, and they have low access to transportation and low income. Families that live here, they have to haul their groceries at least half a mile home from the nearest store. Today, we're going to showcase Pomona, Ontario, and Claremont. And we'll show you how sustainable agriculture can cultivate more than just fresh food. We can grow resilient communities and a thriving hyper-local economy. By prioritizing the needs of low-access households, we can simplify the convoluted supply chain by creating a cyclic relationship between community, food producers, and restaurants. Our model brings access to fresh food into every neighborhood, and it connects small restaurant owners in places like Claremont and Pomona to the entrepreneurs and neighborhoods in food deserts of Pomona and Ontario. Our plan is to have an employee-owned urban farm network that would become hubs within their communities by hiring and training locals in sustainable agricultural techniques, and then growing and selling the fresh produce to their neighbors and later to locally owned restaurants. These hubs of urban agriculture will have dedicated commons areas where neighbors can cross the street to buy groceries and then learn together at workshops. The model's super adaptable, and that's because the farm is employee owned and locally operated. So any profits that they make can be channeled effectively because locals know their own neighborhood. The relationship between farms and restaurants can be cultivated by connecting the urban farms. By connecting them, it'll eliminate packaging, transportation, long storage, and compost can be used to cultivate soil in the farms. Local restaurants can earn a rating and recognition will go to most effective purpose-driven business models. And then leadership can incentivize these business models that are the most effective and committed to their communities and sustainability. So we're hoping to reimagine the foodscape of the Inland Empire together. And we hope that each neighborhood could adapt some version of this model because it's so flexible to their unique circumstances. And by creating this network of hyper-local solutions to food access, we can make the IE more connected and sustainable.